I told you, I shall become a god.
Your fingers were delicious.
I spent.
Have you any more?
So when I texted you today to send me the clip of the voice actor, I was going into, I did some AI research today, and I found like a clone voice feature on this website where you can put in an audio clip then you can have it say whatever you want. So I was going to have the Doriaca narrator do the Gibson eulogy, but I needed the subscription tier, so
that's such a good idea. Honestly, not a good enough idea to spend $5.99.
That's where I was. I was like, not quite ready to give you my money today.
Sirianni reading the entire lyrics to American Pie. Like 6 minutes of a pod.
That'd be pretty good. What's up, buddy?
Hey, welcome back to Stateside.
Hey. Oh, thank you, man. I feel like an island boy.
Our dog was in Greece.
Island hopping, going to my buddy's wedding, having a great time.
Final Euro count?
I have 20 euros left, which is not bad.
I meant how many euros did you eat? Jesus, man. Thank you.
I thought you were. I felt good about having changed money and then gotten rid of all of it.
We've been texting about how many euros you ate for like a week, and then you just hit me with currency.
So we were there. We were there not 8 or 9 days. I can't remember, and we had, I think, 9 euros.
That's good. I mean, one a day,
which is impressive considering like there was a wedding, there were multiple planned dinners. Yeah.
I pretty obviously don't know a lot about Greece, but I sort of would have thought euro would be like one of those foods that you actually can't get in the country. It would be like going to China and asking for orange chicken.
So once you're there, you realize you're just going to like the Shake Shack of Athens. It's just a burger.
Okay. So
like
instead of
that's
getting
the
some
equivalent.
nuggets, you're getting a euro.
Yeah. So we did the equivalent of like going to New York and getting dollar slices everywhere.
Yeah. When I went to Rome, we went on the worst walking tour probably on the planet. An incredibly sweaty guy with a goiter on his neck who took like 15 cigarette breaks, and it was also 100 degrees. But at some point, this man was obviously hungover. At some point, he's like, all right, guys, I got to stop and get a fucking slice. And then he made us all stop and get pizza. Not even at a cool place, a notable place. He's just like, this place is close and they have pizza. I'm stopping to get a slice. Got an incredibly mediocre slice of za. Ate it in the hot sun. Continued our tour. He didn't know more about Rome than I did.
Oh, wow.
It's like, there's some old shit down here, and here's the Colosseum.
I'd pay for a Chris Ruocchio tour of Rome.
How is Hadrian's Library burying the lead?
So Hadrian's Library was nothing.
Oh, okay.
It's like 3 columns in the middle of a field.
That was a little bit of my experience of going to Rome. It was a lot of, there used to be something here.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair,
now it's underground.
Cool. There was a really cool mosaic that was still there. But I mean, it's like the funny thing about Greece is, I mean, we're going way back on the history there.
Yeah. Greece is the word.
This shit's old.
Dude, straight up, man. That
Straight
shit
up,
is
brother.
old. Man, we're the thinking man's podcast here.
Yeah, brother. My favorite part of what I learned about history this time is that the old what the fuck? I just had the biggest brain fade of my life.
So you don't know what you were gonna say?
No, I do, but I forgot the name. The old Parthenon up on top of the hill, the Acropolis. Jesus, there it is.
Yeah,
the Acropolis. It's traded hands so many times between the Turks and the Greeks and everybody, but it's been blown up multiple times because they always decided to use it as a gunpowder storage facility. And I thought that was really fun.
It's a very nice tactical spot on top of the hill.
Yeah,
it's got a great vantage. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but it was good. You had a trip too.
Yeah, while you were petting stray cats and visiting Hadrian's Library, I was in the trenches participating in my first ever golf tournament.
Woo-woo.
At Chambers Bay in Tacoma, Washington.
Which I want to do next year. I want to sign up together. Or
I've already signed up for
you.
next year.
Yeah, send me the deets. I'm in.
That's even after 3 days of getting just punished by the hardest golf course I've ever played, immediately signed up for next year.
Wow.
One of the best weekends of my life. Shot some horrendous scores. Favorite little bit from the story was our first, you get a practice round and then the tournament starts on Saturday. Best ball. So you play with the partner and whoever gets the better score on the hole, that's your score. So I was a little bit better than my partner. And if you've ever, it's worth Googling this course. Basically, there's a small fairway and then everything that's not fairway is either a cliff or a giant sandy waste area that is 30 feet below the fairway. So it's like physically punishing because if you miss, you then have to go on a hike. And then you have to chop your ball out. So my partner hit his ball a mile into the waste area. And we had a caddy, and it was just one of those situations where, like, here are 4 clubs. We'll see you in 20 minutes. Like, just get back here with your ball. Boy goes down. Apparently shanks a ball like 3 times. Goes to find it. Doesn't find it. But he does find another ball. He's like, you know what? It's time to cheat, baby. Yeah. Decides to hit that one. He's like, fuck it, this is my ball, even though this is a tournament. Shanks that one, and then decides it's time to call it a day. Ends up hiking up the hill. He's coming out of the waste area like he's fucking Moses leaving the desert with no ball.
You're like, how'd your shot go, buddy? He's like, I hit 5 balls.
Unfortunately, we're going to be using your score here. I do not have a ball. Also, I cheated. There was a lot of
I
that.
empathize with all the emotions he was going through. That's really brutal.
Yeah. I putted off the green into a bunker because they were so fast on my first day. What else? Yes, just there's honestly too much. There's too much to recount, and I feel that we do have some Hadrian to discuss.
It's a sick course, though. I played it near when they had the U.S. Amateur there, like forever ago.
Yep.
And it was very hard. I did not have a good day.
Yeah, I had one good day. Like, it's not a good score, but it was as good as I was going to do, given the circumstances.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. Well done with competing.
Thank you.
For a non-athlete, you did a great job.
You're talking to a Division III college athlete. Show some respect. Thank you. Okay, we have another bit after the I would say roaring success of our bit last time. Authors
I had
bands.
A great time. We're doing a bit every single time. Thank you for whoever commented their authors band. Appreciate you. Also, today, after we do our bit, we're covering the end of Kingdoms of Death, just by the way, in case we get
this
too
is
far.
like our worst yet in terms of announcing the book.
I mean, if you're in this deep, you know what we're doing today.
It's in the title.
It's what? Chapter 36 to end?
Do you want us to hold your fucking hand?
Oh my God, come
what
on.
Would Tor Gibson do?
I started putting chapter markers in, for God's sake.
Those are good, except you a lot of the time put in the AI generated ones from our podcasting app.
So I didn't realize Spotify automatically does it if you don't manually do it.
Oh, so
I found that out today.
Yeah, we had a lot of really bizarre chapter markers in one of our episodes where it's like,
I had no idea.
Life and
It doesn't
Times
show
of
you.
Hadrian considered.
It doesn't show you until you go in and click the manual details in the Spotify podcasting app.
Well, so
fun fact,
listener, if you ever thought we had really bizarre chapter markers, not us. It's the power of AI.
Not us.
Okay.
We have simple. It's intro, bit, and end. That's all we got.
Yes. Intro, bit, complain about book. Okay. Today, we're doing Dream and Nightmare Blunt Rotations Sun Eater series.
Let's go.
Question for you. You want to start with the good or you want to start with the bad? I think the bad will be funnier.
I want to start with the bad.
Oh, you want to end with the... Okay, end with...
Okay, no. Let's start with the good. Let's start on a positive note. Let's respect some characters.
Okay. Well, then... And we're going to do this fantasy draft style. Let's get to 5 or 6 members of the Roto, and then we'll call it.
Yeah, what's the biggest circle you can pass a blunt? Probably like 8 people max.
It's a blunt. Depends. If you draft a character who's going to be one of those people that huffs half of it, then maybe we have to cut the number.
just slobbering all over that thing.
Here's this. Sorry, this is extremely wet. I don't know how to control it. It's now clogged.
Who's going to take a puff and throw up all over everybody's feet?
Sorry, I have 4 Zens in right now. Okay. Why don't you
Dream.
kick it off? We're starting with the Dream Sun Eater blunt rotation.
Okay.
First draft pick, Travis.
1.01. We're going with Creme.
Creme. I like it.
Creme
Why?
is sick. Creme is an old, salty colosso fighter turned badass metal death recipient in this current section. And he's just
Creme's
all
got
around good
stories.
guy. He's got stories.
Good guy.
He knows how to handle
fighter.
his weed.
Wouldn't, I don't think he'd lose his cool if the cops come.
No.
No, I think he'd have us.
I think
Bring
he'd
some
fight the
maturity
cops.
to the group, I think. I like that. He's not going to freak anyone out either.
He's the solid foundation of the group right now. There's some like real reaches on the list that I came up with, but Creme is a very solid 1.01. High floor, high ceiling.
I was worried you were going to take my number 1 because I feel like we're going to be very simpatico on this one. With the second overall pick in the Dream Blunt rotation draft, Crispin. Come on.
Oh, he's on my short list.
We got to get the boy in there. Listen.
You know it.
Bit of a wild card. He's like when you have a group of friends and everyone is wifed up, but you got one single guy who's just out there dogging it. That's Crispy. That's what he's bringing.
Yep.
He's at
and
the
in
bar,
our like 20 pages
people.
of Crispin, he was chugging energy drinks and like ripping darts anyway.
And playing video games, yeah.
Yeah. He
and
rocks.
shitting on his brother. I guess the risk. No, there's no real risk. I was like, what if he brings Hadrian?
Yes, the most fun part of it would be he would just shit on Hadrian the whole time, and this whole circle would just be telling like dumb Hadrian stories.
I feel pretty confident that we're not inviting Hadrian.
Well, nobody's picked him yet.
No one's picked him yet. He's still on the board. I'm just saying he's not high on my board.
One of us might surprise the other.
He got a low draft grade from me. Okay, you want to come in with number 3?
Sure. It is the fake female version of Karn Sagara.
I knew dude, it was inevitable that someone was going to do some stupid shit like this. 1,000-year-old man / woman.
I mean, he has all seeing eyes. So he's going to be the lookout of the group to make sure we feel safe. And he's a baddie.
He's hot. Yeah, that's true. And thus far, we've only got fellas, so it would be nice to mix it up and bring a lady into the group, even if the lady has the mind of a 10,000-year-old man. I like
totally.
That.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I'm next.
You're
I
back.
am going to go with the computer god that they find in the library in Demon in White.
Is that you mean in the basement, like the basement?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Again, described as sexy, which kind of freaks me out, like a sexy persona angel. All-knowing from a different time, so we could learn a lot. I think we'd be really locked into the stories midway through the blunt. Did seem to want to kill Hadrian, so...
Yeah.
But wouldn't want to kill me, I don't think.
No. And I think would be curious. Be like, oh, what's all this then?
Yeah, I think she would ask me about myself and my times, and I would ask about her times. So,
Right.
yeah.
What's it like being a computer?
Okay, should we get one more in before we close the circle?
I think we gotta get 2 more in.
2 more in. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I've got one. It is the Amazonian goddess Octavia Corso.
Yeah, I knew.
I mean,
she's on my list.
6 foot a million of fun and party vibes.
She would let me. If we were doing this at like a festival, she would let me get on her shoulders so I could see better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which I really like.
I'd say she's got the blunt, but she also has like a flagon of ale, and she's arm wrestling everyone in the corner.
Man, imagine if we were seeing Gracie Abrams with Ottavio Corvo.
God, it would have been so much better.
Fuck, that would be good.
Imagine if she could have beat up the teenagers at Tyler the Creator.
I think she would have laid down the law. There's too much
Nobody would be
making out
making
here.
out on her.
Stop making out to Tyler.
You want to cap it off?
Okay, I'm going to finish with the governor of Amesh.
Whoa. Wow, that's a hot take.
Certified solid guy. Sort of was holding Hadrian prisoner as like a stud horse, but at the same time treated him great, hooked him up with his daughter. And he's got like a really nice house. So he would let us go there afterwards if we needed a place to crash.
It's true.
Wouldn't hold me as a stud horse. Look at me. Good Lord.
You know what? I always liked that guy. I think you're onto something.
Yeah. Okay.
I respect that. Like, that's a great circle.
Great circle. I would say there are other series where you could probably construct a better circle.
For sure, because none of these characters are developed at all.
And I picked a computer god.
that appeared for 3 pages.
She made an impression. Want to know more? Okay, Nightmare Blunt rotation. We might have to make this like 30 people. Okay, who am I kicking this off, or do you want to go first?
Yeah, you get 101 in this one.
Okay. The problem is I know who I want to pick, but I know that we're going to pick the same person later, and I wonder if I should claim them now.
I mean, you got to get them on the
I'm
team
just going to go with my heart. Okay. First overall pick in the Nightmare Blunt draft. I'm going with the Painted Man from Howling Dark.
Oh, yep. He was absolutely on the top of my list. That's a great
freaky-ass clown with a bunch of puppet robots nearby. No thank you.
Who likes to transform his face into your deepest, darkest nightmare.
And I think he was like trying to fuck Hadrian's body or something. I think there was a lot of like, I'm going to turn you into a sex puppet type talk from him.
He was terrible. That and that was really like our first world expansion moment in the series.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first like off-planet vibes.
Yeah. God, I miss those days. You know who should have been in the dream rotation is the street prophet who encountered the deep.
No, because then
March
he freaks
Station.
out. He gets too high. He just starts screaming, "The light, the light."
No, I know, but that's like when you meet a townie at a bar and like a little bit of a wild card. Might not want to see him again, but they were an integral part of the night.
Yeah, as long as you don't drop his lighter.
Don't drop his fucking lighter. Don't scratch his Tacoma. Okay. Second
coming
pick.
back. Any Lothrian communist.
Okay. Fucking Turning Point USA king over here. What are you doing?
Can only speak in
Okay, that's a good point because you can't really have a conversation with them.
Well, hey, you want a hit of this? What's good for the common man is good for all.
Okay, but that is a sick line to say as you're about to take a hit.
Okay, maybe he would be kind of entertaining.
We only have 4 approved phrases for a blunt rotation. One of them is hell yeah.
He would share. He wouldn't hog it. So maybe I might be wrong. This might have been a bad pick.
No, I think you're onto something with the not really being able to communicate. I think you just be over there huffing.
Frustrating. Just huffing, passing. Okay, back to you.
Okay, in third place, I am going with my king, my muse, my lover, Gilliam Vaz.
Yeah.
But I see that's the guy I was wondering, like, wait, why?
Yeah, why?
Ugly. First of all, talk to Hadrian.
He was number 2. He was number 2 on my tier list, but I want to hear your reasoning.
He's pretty mean. He slapped Hadrian like immediately. Kind of freaky looking. A religious zealot, which I'm not enjoying really. I doubt the blunt is Chantry approved, so I think he might just immediately call the cops.
True.
Yeah, I just don't want him there. And not only that, pretty good sword fighter.
Yeah. No, you're spot on for all those reasons.
Why'd you make me defend that? It's obviously
no
one wants.
I wanted to see if you were still pro Gilliam Vaz or not.
No, I am. I was just as close to adding him to the dream rotation. Okay, who you got?
Okay, this is a little controversial. It's Eudax from the Urkatani.
So Eudax is the Urktani who tried to kill Hadrian, right?
Yes, but then became his friend.
Okay, so why is he in the nightmare rotation?
Because he's a screaming bird man with
Who
razor
lives to
sharp
fight.
talons, who lives to fight.
And
Any
did try
substance
to
that
kill one
enters
of
his
our friends.
body,
Yeah.
he's going to try to knife you in the face for fun.
Couldn't mellow him out, though. Think about that.
It
Listen,
could.
I don't even know if he could do it with the beak. I don't know that they can suck.
Right. But can you imagine passing the blunt? You're just hitting a nice little high, and this like 8 foot tall bird creature is like, bah!
Turn off the sublime. Okay, I'm picking that up. And then I think it's long overdue.
Yep.
I gotta throw him in there. I don't want Karnsaga around.
Oh wow. I wasn't expecting that. There's a character I thought you would have picked by now. Interesting.
Sirianni?
No.
Okay. I don't want 10,000-year-old Karnsaga with tubes coming out of his chest and his fucking throne of darkness.
Who only speaks once every like 4.5 minutes.
And he has 10,000 eyes hovering, watching all of our movements. He really likes to animate other bodies.
You don't have to pitch me on this one.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were expressing doubt. But, okay.
Should I close it out?
Yeah, last pick.
Tis Valka.
Wow. First of all, that's rude. Second of all, why? Tis not something I understand.
No, tis something you absolutely understand. It warrants any sort of debate at all.
Okay, can we end the bit and can you explain why you don't want her in? Why didn't we pick Hadrian? I don't want Hadrian there. Okay, but go Valka. Sorry.
Yeah, but Hadrian's not Nightmare. I think it'd be Valka because I would fixate on her speech and I wouldn't be able to move on.
Seems like
so my backup plan was it was between Valka or Basander Lin because Basander would be incredibly boring. He would spike the joint in the ground.
Duty-bound Basander or Hadrian cult worshiper Basander?
Both are bad because you couldn't talk shit about Hadrian in the blunt circle without him getting mad. Yeah.
You're talking shit about a literal god. Yeah, but he's annoying. Yeah. It's weird, like, I think Valka is pretty uptight, pretty unfun at this point, but like when we were first introduced to her, she was using like the room servants and drinking a lot of wine.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't get that anymore.
I guess she just hasn't been cool to me in a long time.
I guess also she has not really been in a position to be using room servants or drinking wine. It's been a tough couple centuries for her.
It's been pretty tough. She has a computer worm in her brain.
Yeah. She had kind of a perma stroke.
She has a phylactery that she gave to her fake husband.
Who fucking lost it like a dick.
That's so fucking crazy to me.
Man. Is this, this can't be I was going to say this can't be the last book that we have to read the word phylactery. It's coming up next book for sure.
It's going to come back around.
When Valka inevitably dies.
Yeah. Whoa.
Well,
we both loved it. We both absolutely loved it.
This was killer.
This wasn't my favorite of the Sun Eater series, I have to say.
Yeah, I think I'm putting this one on the bottom of the stack, unfortunately. Although
you know what's weird though is like if I looked at it on paper, if I looked at its attributes, which is like communism arc, Cielcin lore and backstory reveal, like Hadrian torture, lightsaber battles. Like, yeah, it's cool on paper. It just felt kind of interminable. And it felt silly at times. The decision making felt pretty silly.
It wasn't a particularly long book, but it just felt like each arc was maybe 50 pages longer than I wanted it to be. And yeah, I really did struggle. But it's also, I always end up like this where if I read a bunch of books in a series consecutively, eventually I end up just getting a little tired of it, no matter how much I'm liking it. Like, that happened to me with Stormlight. Like, you know, I huffed Way of Kings into Words of Radiance. And then when I got to Oathbringer, I was a little tired of Sanderson. And then I went back and read it later and really liked it. But, so I don't know. Could just be me and my poor attention span.
Yeah, we might have been a little bit burnt out just cruising through these books. Unfortunately, we're not going to change our approach at all. In fact, we're going to accelerate our
We're
reading.
speeding up, if anything. I just got to get tougher.
We're on week 4 of not getting an advanced reader copy from the Ruocchio camp. So
hey, Chris, if you're listening, respond to my fucking email.
So we'll be there day 1, but we've got to read 2 books in.
Here's the
6
deal.
weeks.
We'll agree to some pay for play. We'll give you an incredibly glowing review of Shadows Upon Time if you give us an arc. I'm not above bribery.
I've always said it. If anybody wants to bribe me, I'm more than open.
I just think with the way I am, if I gave a really glowing review of a book, it wouldn't sound right. It wouldn't sound honest.
I don't think that's true at all. I've heard really glowing reviews of books from you.
Yeah.
And they feel very genuine and passionate.
The Spy Family manga.
The Spy Family manga. It's anything by Susanna Clark.
Yeah, she is my queen. I do love her.
Season 3, episode 4 of Wheel of Time.
Hey, you got the number right.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, you've referred to that episode as basically everything between 1 and 8. Of course,
just keep you on your toes.
But anyway. Okay, so we don't have a summary today. Not really sure why. We just didn't get it done, but it's okay. It's sort of plot light anyways.
I'll put the Daft Punk in just for fun anyway.
Just, run it through the whole app.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we're just going to have to step through this awkwardly. So where we left off last ep was before the soon-to-be bungled Hadrian sacrifice in front of the gathered Cielcin.
Yes.
Goddamn did this section stretch on. I think that is probably what you were alluding to.
It was the scale of it was really interesting. The number of Cielcin, I think they said 1,700 clans. Mm-hmm. It's a big gathering.
In another really awesome setting.
Yeah, the planet is really cool. The bones of the Watchers are sick. They're gathering inside the cave of the dead body.
Skull Temple rules.
Skull Temple's always awesome. Indiana Jones.
And Zelda.
Yeah. But yeah, and actually I thought the start of the section was really strong. I actually liked his writing. He was using some good words.
This boy knows some words.
You know some good words.
Greece is old, and Ruocchio knows words.
He does,
many
man.
of them. Okay. So we do get a little bit of lore corner. I'm not going to go as long as I did last episode, but Hadrian is back having some freaking visions, which is it's a Sun Eater classic at this point.
At first I thought he truly just jumped out the window of his prison, and I was like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was going to happen because I kind of thought the Quiet were going to rescue him the whole time. That's where I thought it was going to go, was going to be some magical thing. I also did re-listen to our episode last time, and I said that the least interesting thing that could happen would be Valka comes in, guns blazing, and saves them. Well.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know. Maybe it's not the least, but it did happen.
It did happen.
Yes, but we get visions of the past, and we learn more about the Cielcin predecessors. They offed themselves.
They did. They did a whole Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Jim Jones.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What are you going to do? If my goal were to destroy the universe and I couldn't get it done, I think I'd do the same thing. What's the point in living anymore?
I don't think the Watchers were very happy about that.
No, I think they're pissed.
Yeah, they seem a little upset.
Why can't the Watchers do it themselves? Why do they need the Crab Boys to do it?
Yeah, it feels like one of those Brandon Sanderson cognitive spiritual realm type issues.
They can't interfere that directly.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if the Watchers are that mad, it's sort of like if I gave a summer associate a very serious task and they fucked it up. Well, that's on me. I shouldn't have trusted them with that.
That's very Terry Pratchett, where the gods are playing like board games with all the characters in the books.
The god of crocodiles.
But yeah, we do get the lore backdrop, and we see, who was it? Elu?
That is what I have written down.
Sorry, that took me a few attempts.
Committing an Abrahamic sacrifice of someone who maybe we'll learn more about.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Hadrian Vision Quest feels like a real sneak peek into something that nobody else knows among the Cielcin.
Yeah, because he eventually tells Ciarani that he sort of knows the history, and Ciarani's quite taken aback by that.
Well, no, okay. Not only does he tell Ciarani, he pulls the ultimate Hadrian talking at a time he should not be talking.
Speaking in a public gathering.
Yeah. Where he's like he's chained like a dog, and it's like, oh, well, actually.
I actually know a lot about this, and yeah. I love his confidence in it too. He's like, well, I had a vision. I know the history.
Tell you idiots.
God, that's amazing.
They
Never
really gloss
question
over
your
it, though.
visions.
I mean, once Ciarani, to be fair, poisons like 800 people.
That was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very interested in him this section because I wanted to get a little bit more about his backstory. I mean, it was interesting. Like, we still, I guess, don't fully know why he's the only one with the augmented soldiers, like the Minos partnership.
Right.
And up until really, like, he claimed the Silver Blood of Elu title or whatever, he hadn't fought anyone physically. He was just intimidating everyone with his step on their throats negotiation tactics.
Yeah, he loves putting his foot on people's heads, quite literally.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting. I'm like, what's the secret spice that made him so special? You know, among all the other generals.
Yeah, I assume it's like partially what Hadrian has been observing, that this guy has like a level of tactical savvy that the other Cielcin are not employing.
Yeah,
they're just kind of burning worlds willy nilly, whereas Ciarani is trying to destroy their antimatter and, tracking people more intensely.
Yeah, and quote Shakespeare.
Okay. Should I get into my quibble, which I've hinted at off pod? Okay, we've heard for 2.5 books that these are like primitive monkey men who want to eat people and don't have a word for gift and can't be negotiated with. We got 100 pages of complex political negotiations between the Cielcin, and we got a member of the Cielcin, their leader, fucking quoting Shakespeare and speaking 10 languages, all of which had a word for gift. What the hell?
Yeah, this was when the section itself opens with a gift of 1,000 high matter swords to Ciarani, which is a lot of high matter swords.
That's a lot, man. A lot of sharp
how
bullets.
Important those have been. It kind of like spits in the face of that entire section on Vergassos.
Yeah.
Like the entire, like, we don't know how to negotiate. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Like, they're clearly organized. There's clearly factions and politics and deal making.
And like, to the extent that this story is saying genocide is the right answer, all of this is spitting in the face of that. I'm not saying any of these groups are like great and we should be buddies with them, but they are all at least different and capable of having different thoughts. They're not one fucking superorganism like an aspen tree.
Fun fact.
Yeah, it looks like they could be persuaded to think or feel differently, but like we don't get a word of that from Hadrian. It just feels like this is not the race that we have been told about for more than half of this series.
Yeah, and I do wonder because they talk about, and I can't remember his name now, the prince that Hadrian beat on Vergassos. Do you remember his name?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah. But I remember they talk about him. He's like one of the breakers of the branches, right? Like he started the infighting within his own faction and like branched off and was kind of a rebel. And so I wonder if like maybe they just got a bad egg. Like maybe that one guy was just like a kind of rogue warrior type, and he started running around. You met one
shitty guy at a diner, and you decided that everyone in New York is mean.
Yeah. But I do wonder that. I'm like,
these guys at Cielcin do seem a little mean.
They're very mean.
Try to be fair.
But to be fair, that's the only Cielcin they had ever talked to. Like anybody. It was that one prince, Arenata. That was his name, Prince Arenata.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of see it's like, okay, well, maybe if he's a big dumb idiot who doesn't understand negotiation, and nobody had ever bothered to talk to Siriani, you know.
And just like the entire race is completely bought in on this universe-destroying jihad. Like, what does a rank-and-file Cielcin think?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This whole argument, I think, holds up less than ever. It never really made sense, but
right
now we're getting like directly contradictory evidence as opposed to just making an inference that this race of billions is not like completely homogeneous.
Well, it's kind of back to his like depiction of the animalistic all or nothing, like zero sum society and race. Kathy,
she comes with treats.
Hello.
I was told that I have permission to interrupt this broadcast.
I'm so hungry. I barely.
You always edit this out in post.
You always have
we're leaving
permission.
it in. Thank you.
Travis, I really felt disturbed. I know I can't hear you, but I really felt disturbed about the piss rat, like a lot of the piss rat stuff in this
Just like
week's episode.
Our conversation about it.
Oh, thank you.
You're on the pod. You're speaking on the mic.
Welcome to the pod, our honored guest, Kathy.
My point was I felt disturbed by the phrase ass deep in the Silmarillion, and there was just a lot of piss rag content.
Well, how do you think we felt having to read the piss rag content?
Was the piss rag a prank?
Yes.
That's crazy.
They're like, oh, we hung you out to dry physically for 2 days. Here's a nice damp towel
some,
for
like,
you to.
eucalyptus oil or like a like a lavender towel after.
And then they're like, ha ha ha.
It's really just it was a piss rag.
It was a piss rag, and they're like, ha ha, dumb Hadrian.
It wasn't like a yoga class, really.
He did.
I would have gotten stretched though.
I really disagree with you. I think being hung by your arms is better than legs.
Straight up. Okay. Where were we?
Well, the other problem with Ruocchio and the Cielcin is that they're fucking idiots. The pageantry of dragging Hadrian around for so many pages obviously was going to come back to bite them in the ass. I know this is a novel with a protagonist and we have to suspend our disbelief, but we called this as soon as they took the collar off him because it didn't fit into his uniform. It's like
That was
you don't
tough.
want to leave the like control pain collar on the prisoner that keeps escaping and beating
Why
you.
did they put him in his incredibly futuristic armor with an impenetrable gel layer that's also still charged?
It's crazy. So anyway, yeah, we're skipping a little bit through the procession and obviously the assassination of all the Cielcin generals and their poisoning. Good job, Ruocchio, for really centralizing your power there.
I got a prediction. There's going to be no real follow-up. It's just going to be he consolidated power. It's not going to be like, okay, I killed all of your leaders, so now we have to deal with the fallout. It's just going to be like, congrats, you got him, baby.
It's kind of a ridiculous series of scenes. He assassinates all of them, and then he proclaims himself the new silver-blooded god, the reincarnation of Elu. And then he like throws the Tamerlane down for them to feast on. It's just like, it's such a ridiculous series of events.
It's funny because Siriani many times is like, listen, I wanted to kill you in sort of a show trial thing, but I'm willing to compromise. And then we watched him for 150 pages drag Hadrian around so he can do public execution.
And I truly, I was rereading it a little bit. I don't know how they fucked up the actual execution so badly.
Unbelievable.
Okay, he's
Bungled.
alone. He's alone on a pedestal surrounded by Cielcin and his mecha warriors. He has been tortured for the last 8 years or whatever it is.
He's a ghost at this point.
He's a shell of a human.
This man is as close to dead as you can be.
And obviously the quiet lets him pull a lightsaber out of thin air.
Yeah, let's put a pin in that.
which
Let's
is
not
its
forget
own.
to discuss this.
That's its own thing. But then he wins the lightsaber battle with a fully functional Cielcin prince.
9-foot tall demon who's really good at swordplay, defeated by an emaciated human who's been hanged by his wrists and piss-ragged for 7 years. No exercise, nothing.
Nothing.
Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Come on. I know Hadrian's a good fighter, but like, really?
Yeah, so the escape, you know, that really frustrated me. Just the way it happened, and it felt so, my first response when I read it was like, it felt like Ruocchio chickened out. Like, it felt like he had something else in mind, and then was just like, I'll just go back to the old lightsaber fight. Like, I don't know. It felt very weak.
Yeah. Yeah, in keeping with my old comment about this being the least interesting turn of events, it really does feel that way, and it just doesn't feel right. Like, it's so...
Right.
I know there are some people who complain that Hadrian's a bit of a Mary Sue and has a little bit of plot armor, and
Mhm.
this for me is the first time where I was really feeling that. Maybe when Siriani delayed his execution so that he could create his last will and testament, that was really stupid. But this is just as bad.
It's bad. Well, okay, so I'm curious then, how did you feel when the entire cast of characters just gets dropped back into the book?
Hold on. I don't want to forget about him pulling a lightsaber from another dimension.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go
How
back
did
on this
that
one.
hit you?
Pretty silly.
Okay.
Because
That
I felt
opens
like,
a fucking ridiculously large can of worms.
I know, and it's like the other one. Well, obviously the other instances of him pulling shit out of the multiverse is also crazy. But like some of them felt like they were in the right order. Like when he uses his Karn Sagara arm to stop the High Matter Blade and the Colosso assassination. It's like, okay, well, that's like, man, we can back it back up to that fight where he lost the wrong arm. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, that's a neat twist. This, like, it's not a twist. This isn't a twist at all. It's just a bailout from a god.
Yeah. He gets a boon.
Yeah.
Yeah, on his Hades run, he encountered. Yeah, it's a different thing because it's like in the past, he's been doing this quantum shifting where it's sort of like subbing one possibility for the next.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what happens here. He receives like a gift. He pulls actual matter from another timeline into this. And then where the fuck does that stop?
Yeah. Well, I think where it stops is potentially what you were talking about. Like, you can nuke a planet in a different timeline.
Yeah, full universe swap.
Yeah. I mean, what's the limit?
Yeah, maybe that's it. He blows up all the Cielcin in this universe and then or maybe he just shifts everyone.
Just
maybe,
like
would he create
puts them
two
in a different
timelines?
universe?
Like, okay, I'm moving all the humans to timeline B. Cielcin, you guys can have timeline A and be sickos here.
He could.
And then you wouldn't really need to blow up a sun at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we're going to find out in November, aren't we?
We're definitely going to find out.
Yeah. What would you be shifting in from another timeline? I would be shifting in money. I'd be taking the timeline where Avery is a billionaire. I'd taking some cold hard cash.
That's dumb. I like that.
Dumb. That's the smartest thing I could do.
I mean, I feel like if you're Hadrian, why aren't you shifting in a nuke?
That's a good point.
Like every Cielcin is on the same planet right now. And you have a chance to blow them all up.
Why don't you get a 50 caliber?
Yeah.
Hadrian with gun.
Well, there's a great part later on. I forget who actually is kind of giving him shit, but he gets some valid criticism that he only uses his powers to save himself. Like he never actually intervenes with anybody else when they die.
Yeah,
which is a
with
crazy.
Ilex. Yeah, Ilex was
It's kind of crazy. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, Hadrian would never actually sacrifice himself for the greater good.
Absolutely not.
He'd sacrifice everybody else for the greater good, but not himself.
He would, and he has.
Yeah, it's true. And he will continue to do so.
Yeah.
And in fact, he does in very short order here. Everyone but like 30 people.
Yeah, skipping forward a few pages. Goodbye, Red Company. We barely knew you.
Yeah, okay, but I want to go back to that. How did you feel when like it felt when all of a sudden like Krim and Polino just show up in the ship and they're in the middle of a field with like the 300 Spartan scene getting bum rushed by Persians?
I didn't feel good about it, honestly.
I felt real bad.
I felt like some silly shit was happening on the page.
And it's the classic, like, there's explosions everywhere, but the bullets conveniently miss only the characters that have names.
Man, I was thinking it didn't make sense. And then a few chapters later, when Valka explains how she got there, it really didn't make sense.
Yeah, do you want to back that up? You went back and reread it.
I didn't. I was going to, but the gist of it was they got away from the Lothrian Commonwealth. Then they fucking hopped aboard a freighter, and then they lived in shipping boxes for 8 years, and they somehow tracked him to Darwentun and then got to Io. And I mean, this was a 7-year journey that they went on, hiding aboard ships to find Hadrian.
And also just not being detected by the Cielcin.
Is it wrong of me to say, like, why the fuck did they spend 7 years going to get Hadrian? They should have hightailed it home immediately.
Well, the thought that I had is, where's the message to the army? Where's the message to Bassander Lin that all of the Cielcin are going to one planet at the same time?
Hey, our would-be allies literally sold out our fucking emissary to the Cielcin, and he's now being tortured, and we should get someone over there.
Yeah.
As opposed to...
I mean, I know he's made it so difficult to do any communication. Intergalactic comms are always down, which probably makes sense scientifically, but I don't know. That part pisses me off. I want space messages.
But just like hiding on a freighter for 7 years so that you can go to the gathering of 10 million evil aliens to try to rescue your boyfriend? They're just better people than I am. I think that's what it is.
How'd they all get there at the same time? How'd the Cielcin all get there at the same time?
Well, there was a gathering.
Like, what, he called it? How'd he get the message out to them?
Yeah, it's like the evocation of the Entmoot in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but he can do it, but they can't get a message to their army.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm listening. I'm understanding. I don't really have an answer.
There have been so many times in these books where Hadrian's like, the fleet's just out of comms reach. We'll never be able to get to them in time. And Sirianni can get 1,700 clans. Did you see the did you see Jaylen Brown trying to call his Celtic teammates on a podcast this week?
No.
He was like streaming and they're like, oh, you should call, whoever on the Celtics. And he went 0 for 5 on teammates picking up his FaceTime. And then
that's not good.
Jeff Teague watched it on his podcast and immediately called Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum picked up.
Oh my God.
It was
oh, that's so sad. He's a Cal Bear,
man.
He's a Cal Bear. I support Jalen. Okay, well.
Anyhow. So yeah.
Did you
all his friends
like
show
the
up.
escape sequence?
No.
Is this oh. Okay.
No, I didn't.
I'm just saying no.
Okay. Yes and no. My one bone to pick is that all of the escape sequences feel the exact same. Like, we know Hadrian's getting out. It feels like a video game level where there's explosions happening, but none of them really affect you. And you have all these, like, just infinite waves of obstacles that spawn. Like, there's always 8 Cielcin spawning in a tunnel, like sprinting at him.
There's going to be Cielcin in a tunnel. They're going to be the evil drill bit monsters. And then One of
Right.
the white hand people is going to come and seem scary, but then ultimately not do that much.
Exactly.
And I feel like this is the ultimate proof of what we'd been a little bit concerned about through the series. Fucking basically every side character dies,
Right.
and man, did I not feel much.
To be fair, they died heroes.
They did
died-
die heroes, and they got a little rock and roll with it. Let's be
They're in
real.
Valhalla. They died warrior Viking deaths, and
Yeah.
I
I think it's
dig-
cool.
I dig it.
Yeah. I think
Krim throwing up the metal sign while he's
throwing up the devil horns is extremely cool. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, the scenes are cool. Like, God bless him.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna cry because Ilix is dead. Like, you know,
Well, I think
I'm gonna
that's-
cry for
that-
me because now we have no characters we know in the next book.
So that's kind of the frustrating part with me is that we brought back the Tamerlane just to kill it in 40 pages. Like, we had a whole section of Hadrian, and I get that there's like, oh, it's a fun twist that everyone's alive and that they told him all his friends were dead, but they really weren't.
Yeah, but no one reading this book thought they were all dead.
Exactly. But then you just bring him back and kill him again, and only Hadrian and Valka get out.
That's
I don't
nuts
know.
that it's literally only Hadrian and Valka.
Everybody else is dead.
It just seemed like he had the idea to have them alone on the ship, and you know, I guess no one else could make it. No one to help man the ship. Nobody's done
Right.
nothing.
Yeah, but computer brain worm lady just sitting in the ship is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, who's been having strokes and can't use half her face.
And who's also the only trackable person in their party because of her brainwaves.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did you see that because she had a stroke, Hadrian notes that her smile looks a bit like his now? Oh. So confirmed he's only half smiling.
His little smirk. Mm.
God.
The
What a-
classic Hadrian smile. The classic Marlowe smile.
Oh, that crooked Marlowe smile.
Crooked Marlowe smile. Yeah, I think I wrote this Valka to the rescue, but in a really uncool way. That's what it felt like.
Oh, man, we're such downers.
I know. I get like, if you're just reading this part in a vacuum, it is a fun escape, chase, fight scene
Yeah.
with like, you know, the sacrifice of like Krim, you know, attaching grenades to himself and jumping on the back of a devil,
Yeah.
a winged devil. Like, yeah, that stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah. White hand
I'll
gets
give
stabbed in
that
the
some
eyeball.
credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's still well written. He still does these like really cool set pieces, but again, like there've got to be interesting people involved in them. And
And I think the set pieces are starting to blur together. Like it reminds me of when we would get frustrated reading Gwen because he would fall back on the same forest march. It would be like you run from a band of outlaws in the forest and all the forests feel the same and you have no idea where you
Yeah.
are. It's like we've had
I think
a lot of these fights and they feel very similar.
yeah. I think that's one of the I know he does this on purpose, but like that's one of the good things about Stormlight is I think the villains really shift from book to book. There's always like some sort of new threat or like the threat escalates in intensity.
Mm-hmm.
So some villains die like quite shockingly, but they're replaced by something more interesting. Whereas I feel like this is if we just continued fighting on the Shattered Plains for like 5 books.
Yeah, but somehow like the stakes are the world is getting bigger and the stakes are getting smaller because Hadrian has a get out of jail free card and we know the ending of the book.
Yeah. And it's like he's so disconnected with what's going on in the larger war at this point. And maybe that's, I bet that is what's going to happen in Ashes of Man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have to dwell on this too much because ultimately we don't know that much about it. But apparently this was like meant to be one book, Kingdoms of Death and Ashes of Man. And then I guess at the advisement of his editor, but maybe it was his idea too. It got split into 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to reconnect with the Empire in a more meaningful way and just like get an understanding of where the war is at generally because this was so Hadrian focused.
Yeah, I mean, he's in isolation. We talk about jail every episode. He was in jail for like
There's no
a
way he
good
spends.
half of this book.
There's no way there's another book where he spends more time in jail than this one.
It can't happen.
7-year jail arc.
I agree. I mean, the one thing we hadn't talked about is Lorien, who gets sent off to be the emissary to the army of Earth.
Which is cool because I like Lorien. One of
I
my
like
faves.
Lorien.
And hope he comes
what's
back.
gonna be, I think it's gonna be interesting because he's delivering the message that Hadrian and everybody else is dead.
Damn, they're really gonna think this guy's a god.
Yeah. Yeah. But does it feel good to come back after losing 90,000 men and you're the only one?
No, he took an L.
Yeah.
There's no denying. I mean, I don't know that anyone could have done better.
Sure.
But he is not returning triumphant. He's just returning not dead.
Yeah, but I do think you're right. I think, and we'll talk about the ending here, but I think once he stops moping around on Colchis, he's going to reunite with the army and we're going to have a counteroffensive.
Yeah. I guess this like tangentially relates to something that I wanted to talk about, which is time. It's a wheel.
Yeah.
Hadrian has been gone an unbelievable amount of time, and the empire continues to exist, and the war continues to be fought. And like you're saying, Lorien's going to deliver the message that he's dead. Presumably that message gets delivered and everyone moves on with their lives. No one's waiting for Hadrian to come back, right? Like people live their
for
lives.
decades. And that's going to be decades.
Everyone dies. Like, what's it going to mean? And who's still going to be around that even fucking remembers this guy? And this seems like something Ruocchio would have thought of because he is so methodical, but like so much time has passed in this series, but it sort of feels like the world has stayed static.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking at our lives, like the fucking world around us, it looks nothing like it did in 1950.
Yeah.
So much has changed. And then we have like 1,000 years or so have passed already in this story and nothing's changed. And maybe that's because everyone's just in fugue. But shouldn't
not
he
everyone.
be like going on these missions and coming back to completely unfamiliar environments?
I mean, that's what it feels. I am completely with you. And also, the only people who get access to fugue are soldiers and palatines. Like,
right, everyone else is just living.
Yeah, and they live normal lives. Like, there's only a 1% of the population that is even around to see anything remotely multi-generational besides these, like, long-distance soldiers.
I wonder if it hasn't come up because he hasn't revisited a locale. Like, I was trying to rack my brain just now to see if he's actually gone back to a planet he's been on before.
Colchis. This happens at the end of the book.
Yeah, and I was definitely thinking about it because this is like directly dealt with in the whole Colchis thing, right? Like that place is quite different.
Right. We're on like the, fifth generation or something of descendants of his old friends, which is crazy. That's a mindfuck.
Yeah. But I just think if you're going to introduce these extended lives and you're going to have people who live extremely long and the other people don't, that just needs to be more into the world building. And it's really not.
Yeah. I remember I had this bone to pick early on when it was Hadrian coming out of fugue and all of the relationships felt completely stagnant, like they just picked up where they left off. I think the point's even bigger with culture and society. Like, the thing that bothers me too is like we're in a intergalactic warp drive, space civilization, and technology has not progressed in the series. There are no new weapons to fight the Cielcin. There's no new strategies. There's no like cultural shifts.
And it's like such an interesting thing that I would love to see him play with.
Yeah.
Like how cool would that be is he goes back to Forum and it's different and like fucking cultural norms are different. Everyone dresses different. Like,
sure.
That'd be fascinating.
And I get if the excuse is the Chantry controls like progress. The Chantry controls
assume
scientific.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But you can't just have them like exist as a specter where you said that once in book 1 and then like that acts as the the blanket of explanation for
It's
the
also
rest of the
not
novels.
necessarily what we felt in the series because we have warp drives and antimatter factories and all. But, tech has progressed at tremendous ways. Like,
Right.
we're not out there cutting trees with stone axes. Like,
Yeah, but I feel weird that, I felt weird that there was never a scene where they went back after a Cielcin battle and were like, oh, how should we adjust our weapons to fight the Nahoot,
yeah, they've had about 400 years to figure that out.
2,000 total fighting the Cielcin.
They're still getting throats ripped.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'd say this one of the books that I think to me did this the best with like progress of civilization in a new world was, did you ever read Seven Eves?
No.
It's I can't remember the author. I don't think it's Neil Stephenson. But it's basically post-apocalyptic. We have to restart society from like the International Space Station kind of thing. But it covers like multiple generations of how like society would rebuild itself if it started from like 7 astronauts.
Cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
But that's like the antithesis of this, where it's like, oh, it was really thoughtful about what happens with generational shifts. How does society actually change over 200 years in a new planet or a new system? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover. I mean, I don't know how he would fit all of this in and not have these books be 4,000 pages. So
yeah, and Hadrian's eyes are fixed firmly on his own dick. So God forbid he spare a few words for the life and times of the common people.
Yeah. Speaking of so Hadrian is. You think Hadrian and Valka did it on the ship?
They had to.
28 years.
Why wouldn't they? Well, not 28 years. A couple years.
I thought it was 28 years.
Well, she was in fugue for a lot of it. Is what I'm saying.
Fair.
I gotta say, that was maybe my favorite part of the book, was those two on the ship. It was like a very refreshing just pivot towards like some character moments, and their relationship felt more real than it probably has at any point in the series. And it was a really, really cool use of fugue to say like, well, someone needs to tend the ship and it's only the two of us, and like it's probably got to be you. And it was like quite sad, her going away and knowing that he was going to have to spend all this time alone. Like that's we just spent 10 minutes complaining about time, but I think that's like a really cool exploration of the little mechanic that he's built, where like space travel takes decades. It was really cool.
No, it was very touching. I think he did a really good job capturing like shell shock and PTSD and kind of healing together in a kind of unwinnable situation. And just like little stuff like, let's grow crops and get a little bit better at it every day, and that's how we're going to heal. I like that.
Yeah, it's like sort of what I've been missing is, we get scenes where like we're told that he's buddies with Polino and Krem, and they have this history, but we don't always get to see it. And this was just like we got to see them together just being normal for a second and trying to figure out how to move past all this horrible shit that had happened. And it was really good. Like it definitely made me feel more attached to them as a unit. Unfortunately, I'm going to continue predicting that Valka will die.
We're 0 for 3, I think.
She's going to make it to the end. Hadrian's somehow going to die, even though he's writing his own book.
Yeah, I will say, we're kind of in a reborn Hadrian, though. Like he's hit rock bottom. You can't get much lower than
piss rag.
Piss rag and watching 90,000 of your best friends die.
Yeah.
So I am interested to see how his personality reknits itself. Like this is a very interesting section where he's very cautious and timid and scared, and like he's panics a lot, He's like, oh, I don't want to go see, I don't want to meet up with the army. I don't want to go home. Like I want to go back to this safe space. Like, I want to go hide out
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah, all that stuff felt really right with what he's been through.
So I'm interested to see in the next book as he reintegrates into society, assumedly.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of Hadrian we're going to get.
You know who's real tapped into that? Tor Gibson.
Oh, baby.
We got to talk about the boy.
500 years on ice.
Not dead. Almost dead.
Well, dies pretty fast.
That's pretty fine. I mean, yeah, I'm about to die. Someone freeze me.
I was in my most jaded self reading this section. I'm like, did y'all really just spend 9 years hanging out with Gibson on a planet and not
years? Did you forget about by in this series?
They forgot about Lorien. Lorien's just getting shipped off. he's 1v1 with like one of those Minos seals.
Avenge me. I will. After 7 years on Library Planet.
I just got to chill out for a little bit, bud. I'll see you in a minute.
I mean, understandably, he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really do just post up on some planets for like a long time. I was at war with myself. I wanted to be like, this is a little much that Gibson's still alive, but I chose to enjoy it for what it is, and there are some very sweet moments between
it was really
Hadrian
sweet
and his adopted papa.
It was really sweet. I mean, these are the two characters that he has spent the most time with in the series, Valka and Gibson. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty sweet. Whatever happened to Janan? Wow, I just had that realization.
I hope she didn't meet another man.
Oh, she certainly did.
Feels like cheating. I bet we're never going to hear from her again.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We got a little Gibson backstory though.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So, yeah, in kind of like a fevered state, close to death, he starts his little bouts of dementia. We learn he has a son, and I feel like there are a bunch of dots I'm not connecting, but we never really knew how he ended up as a scholiast. Yeah. Seems like he was definitely quite high up in society, and then was probably made a scholiast as some sort of punishment, taken away from his family.
Yeah, it seemed like he wanted to rule. He tried to take over the crown, but something went wrong. It hurt his family. That's kind of what I was gathering from that.
I was braced for a I am your father reveal.
Yeah, I was braced for I am like the older brother of the current king.
Ooh, real Game of Thrones, that guy in The Night's Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hope that we get a few more direct answers, but if we don't get them, that is sort of interesting, though, that we'll just be left with these questions and a couple scraps of information about who he was.
Yeah, I'm happy with the idea that he's more than what he seems, because we always knew that. Like, he had, sentimentality that scholiasts weren't supposed to have, and he had a rich backstory.
Yeah. And it does lend a little bit of weight to his teachings. It's just some acknowledgement that he was, he's not always been this way. He had his faults and sort of overreached in a way, and all of the, the stoicism was probably hard learned for him. So
right, he's loved and lost and lived and everything. Yeah, R.I.P. Gibson.
R.I.P. Gibson. I'm so sorry we couldn't give you a Cielcin Doriaika AI eulogy.
It would have been, well, now that it's such a tender moment, I don't want to give it to him. I don't want to make light of his death.
He loved and he lost. He never ejaculated.
Semen retention gang. So strong.
Well, important point to make here, an hour, 10 minutes in. Kevi pointed out Cielcin Doriaika, a very Italian brain rot name.
Cielcin Doriaika.
Yeah, him versus Bombardiero Craccarillo. Who do you think wins?
Federico Italiano.
We gotta add that to the list of bad questions we ask Ruocchio.
Yeah. What do you got against Italians?
Man. Okay. Well, any final thoughts on Kingdoms of Death?
No, there were some small things that if we had another hour we could talk about. He uses the Odyssey as a metaphor. He writes, there's some like Lawrence of Arabia stuff in there that I picked up that
Yep.
you wouldn't because you've never watched it or read it, which is disgusting.
Correct. Probably never will.
Yeah, it's a
Don't know why.
post-colonial classic. But yeah, any
Yeah.
predictions for the next one? Which we
Well-
may do in 2 parts instead of 3, by the way, dear listener.
We got to cook. We got to get caught
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is barely a prediction. I think it's going to start the way it always does. He's going to go back and see the emperor, who will still be alive.
I have a hot take. Emperor dead, Alexander king.
I love that.
And he's going to have to like be re-forgiven by Alexander to reintegrate into society.
Ooh, I'm not your Padawan anymore, motherfucker.
Mhm. In fact,
That's
I
good.
think this is the Hadrian the Soldier arc.
Interesting. Just taking
Mhm.
orders?
Yep. He gets sent front lines by Alexander.
Either it might be a book 6 prediction, but yeah, I think Siriani is going to cease to be Siriani pretty soon.
Well, he is the silver-blooded god of...
Yeah, with something
Cielcin.
crawling around inside him.
Oh my God, we completely skipped over that, by the way.
So I think that rebirth will, I mean, it'll definitely happen in the next 2 books, right? But like,
yeah.
is that, I'm predicting that it's just not going to be Siriani anymore. He is a vessel for some other being, and
Right.
that's going to be the big bad moving forward.
Yeah, also so creepy. It was something pale and wicked slithering beneath his skin. Like, oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
didn't like
That's
it.
cool because we got to see a little bit of it from in the vision where hands
Yeah.
like crawl out of his fucking neck.
I mean, my assumption is that that's the like embodiment of the Watcher who
Yeah.
is still like sticking around, basically.
And speaking of new villains, I'll go out and say we're gonna start getting introduced to the full cast of Watchers.
Yeah.
We're gonna know kind of who they are, what's their deal, do any of them still have bodies, all that kind of stuff. I think we're gonna get some answers pretty soon.
You think Karn Sagara is going to come back in book 5?
I don't, dude. I think Karn is gone.
You think Crispin? Well, is Crispin dead? No. You think his family is going to
I
make an
think
appearance in
Crispin
book
is
5?
dealt with in one of the novellas.
Hmm.
So no, I do not think Crispin is going to be dealt with here.
Okay.
Though there were some lines like when he was talking about his memories of home and leaving and wanting to do his own thing, and he was sort of rethinking it. It did make me wonder if he's going to have to talk to his dad again and bury the hatchet, whatever it may be. If his
Yeah.
dad's even alive. So
I think his dad's dead, but his sister that he's never met, they're going to have words.
yeah. I mean, I'd be interested in that. Well, we got to introduce a whole new fucking cast of characters because everyone's dead. So
I know. I'm actually really intrigued to see who the new side characters become. It's a full fresh reset. I like it.
when is there going to be a nice Cielcin who joins them? A la the Parshman Bridge 4 member.
Didn't they torture and kill that one? The
I was going to call him
Tamerlane
Tanabest.
or whatever.
I'm really on Stormlight right now.
Yeah.
Tanaran.
Tanaran, yeah. We already had that.
Yeah, I guess we already did. Damn.
Tanaran was a homie and got murdered.
Are we really going to get through this whole series without like one faction of Cielcin being nice and then they get to
No,
fight alongside the humans?
because we're black and white now, baby. We're
No,
animals
I
versus
know that.
humans.
I'm
you know?
still in denial.
Okay. Well,
Um
keep denying, baby.
okay. Well, all in all, not my favorite Sun Eater book, but some interesting stuff. A lot of stuff I will remember. I'll give it points for making an impression.
For sure. And we're going to keep ripping. We're getting right back into it.
We had some laughs in the Lothian Commonwealth. We got some fingies eaten.
There was a lot.
then-
We covered a lot of ground in this. Let's be
That's
fair.
the thing that I think about when I like zoom out and think about the whole book. It's like, what a weird fucking book. We went
Yeah.
from like Atlas Shrugged weird social commentary to 150 pages of torture to kind of unbelievable escape sequence and then Gibson not dead.
all
What
in
the
all,
hell?
I'm really happy this is the book we're doing podcasts about, because there's lots of books I'd rather read out there, to be honest. This is the type of book that I want to talk about more than those books. So
True.
We-
Yeah, no matter how I feel about a given section, I always have an hour and a half worth of shit to say about it.
right, which is not the case with everything. I read like 4 books on this trip that were not Hadrian, and I think all 4 could fit in our podcast.
Yeah. I think you were going to give a brief review of The Lies of Locke Lamora and the sequels, but I don't know if we need to save that. Do you want to give me give me 20 seconds on that?
Yeah, they're very fun. The first one is a very fun heist novel that gets a little bit of like creepy villain magic in it. And I think very, very good. It's a very strong cast of characters.
And
The
a
next
shark
2
fight.
books, and like the world, he does a really, really good job of like descriptive, creative world building. Like every scene is in a really cool spot.
It's very, very detailed. Like
Mhm.
he's one of those guys who like goes ham on describing the food and stuff.
Exactly. Like
very-
the places
yeah.
they go to eat dinner are just like, oh wow, that's really cool. Like I can't believe you thought of that.
He strikes me
Um,
as like a guy you would absolutely want to bring to trivia night.
Yes. And then as the books go on, too much plot armor and a little bit of repetitive heist. It's like Ocean's 11, 12, and 13. Like that's how I would describe it.
Ocean's
Like-
10.
Yeah. Ocean's 11, classic. Like formulaic, but amazing. By the third one, yeah, there were like 150 pages of a play that he wrote within the book that was not good.
You don't like meta text?
Only if it's the Weird Sisters.
Not the Shakespeare that Weird Sisters is based on. Just Weird Sisters. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
But they were good.
Yeah.
They were. I think you could give it a try again. The first novel, honestly, just read it as a standalone. You don't need to read the series.
Yeah, I read like half of it, and I can't remember why I got sidetracked. But I think as I was seeing other books,
Yes.
I was cheating on it, and then I left it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go tend our wounds and try to come back to Ashes of Man with better attitudes.
I think we had a great attitude once we complained for 30 minutes.
We ended on a high note here with the
We always
praising
do.
Tor Gibson
We always do.
because we feel bad. Nah, there's some good shit in here. Yeah, excited to see where it goes. And I've heard book 6 is a bit of a banger, and there's some chapter people talk about as like, that's the lore chapter, that's the big
Ooh.
switcheroo. And that got me excited because
Can't
goddamn
wait.
do I want some lore and some switcheroos. So,
Can't wait.
okay, with that, love and light, throw up your double horns, rest in peace, Chrome, rest in peace, everyone else.
Recipes, everybody.
Rest in peace, the entire cast of Sun Eater. We'll see you in Valhalla.